H-A-R-O-U-N. Double S. Yes, double S. Without A. Double S without A. Without A, double S. Why without A? Haruna without A. Zete, good morning, dear students who that side attending this lesson. I think it's my first time to handle Senior 3 English language. I would like to thank my colleagues who have been taking you through the other lessons of English, Mr. Saleh, Madam Nahia, Mr. Aliku. Today I'm handling an aspect of grammar. I know Mr. Aliku has been taking you in building a composition. Madam Nahia has been taking you in I think she did with you speech writing. Mr. Saleh did some aspects of summary writing. Go down. Aspects of Senior 5. And sorry for that. Aspects of summary writing and some grammar and I think comprehension. I've been following that. So for today, we are going to basically look at grammar, and we are going to look at subject-verb agreement. But before we come to the details of subject-verb agreement, there is one thing I usually want to emphasize in grammar, and which I think is the cornerstone or the basis on which a sentence should be analyzed. I want to believe that your teachers at a certain point have been telling you that a good or a simple English sentence has got 3 main features, that is the subject, the verb, and the object. This is what we call the SVO, should be S plus V plus O, of which we have the subject. This is the doer of the action. We have got the verb. This is the action. Okay. And then we have got the object. This is the recipient, or let me put it in simple terms, the receiver of the action. Okay. So these are the 3 major components of a simple English sentence. And every time you have to analyze or to look at a sentence, you have got to make sure that you identify any of the 3 aspects. One thing I would like to mention before I go further is that most students think that English is simply a subject you can pass mechanically, okay? In that you can wake up and go and do either an English test without revision and so on. Yes, I know a good number of you they are going to disapprove me that, but we wake up and do these lessons, or I mean these tests or exams in English without even revising. But I also challenge you, how many marks do you get from an English exam without revision? Okay, if you can manage to get a 60 in an English paper without revision, what would you get if you revised? You'd be pushing yourself to a 7 or even an 8, and you are improving on your grade. So English is not a subject of mere guesswork like most of you take it. It also needs concentration, it needs revision, it needs trying to make time and accord it time just like you do to the other subjects. So I'm bringing this aspect here of grammar, especially to tackle the area of rewrites. I know you will agree with me that rewrites are one of the areas that give students a little bit of headache. It's very rare to find a student who has scored 7 marks out of 10 in rewrites. From experience, you'll find that a number of students will always swim between 0, 0 and 5. Reason being, you don't take time to know what is placed where in a sentence. You simply do things mechanically. But it's not mere guesswork, just as I've been saying. There should be something that you follow in order for you to come up with that correct sentence. So, when I talk about the structure of a simple English sentence, which is the subject, the verb, and the object, I will give a simple sentence here. I'll give a simple sentence here. I can say, I am doing the work. I am doing the work. So I'm going to divide this sentence into these 3 aspects we have listed here: the subject, the verb, and the object. Here I'm going to have am, and I will have doing, and I will have the work. So am here is our subject, doing is our verb, which is the action, and the work is what is the action being done by the subject here. So this is our object. A simple English structure should have these three components. If it misses out on one of these components, then it ceases to be a sentence. It will either be a phrase, or it will be a clause, or it will simply be a statement, but it will not be a complete sentence. Now that we have this structure here we are looking at, then let us go back to our main topic, which is the subject and subject-verb agreement. I think you will be seeing from the screen, for those ones who on your screen, I have put for you quite something like that looks like notes. I don't know whether I will take it for notes or not, to try to guide you or to make you follow as I'm making this discussion tonight. Okay, I'm cleaning this off. Hopefully you have noted it somewhere, and it's what is taking us into our main topic tonight. Okay, I've said here that all complete sentences have got a subject and a verb, and I've said that these are the most essential parts of a complete sentence. Okay, so when we come to subject and verb agreement, okay, we are concerned with the relationship between, this is the relationship between the noun and its, which is the subject. In this case, when I put S, you know that it's the subject, and its corresponding verb, okay, and the corresponding verb. So this is what our concern is when we talk about the subject and verb agreement. You will find that the verb has got to correspond well both in number, okay, it's usually number, and gender, but my concern here is going to be mainly in number. These two have got to agree. But where you have a simple sentence, like the one I have written down, you are not going to have such challenges. I'll give a sentence like I am eating food. Okay, I'm eating food. Look at this sentence. We only have I, which is a pronoun, okay, and this I here is representing the subject. Eating food, it's okay. We have got only one subject in this sentence. But a challenge is going to come where you have more than one noun or more than two nouns in a sentence. For instance, you can say, I'm going to give an example, and I say Caleb, okay, and Kathy, okay, Caleb and Kathy. Is this the spelling? Kathy, okay. Caleb and Kathy are going to school. Unlike in the sentence above here we have got, where we have only one, okay, we have only one subject, we have one pronoun. By the way, subject can be either a pronoun or a noun, okay, but here we have used a pronoun. We can use a noun and we say maybe Musa, okay, is, in this case it will be is. We have a noun, but here I have used the pronoun I, okay. We have only one in this sentence, but here we have got two nouns. Caleb is one noun and Kathy is another noun, okay. So when you look at this sentence, it is going to be, it's a simple one when it comes to the subject. This one is simple when it comes to subject and verb agreement, but it becomes a little tricky here because we have got two nouns, okay. But this one still is a simpler one, okay. It is a simpler one. Why is it simple? We have combined Caleb, or we have Caleb and Kathy. They are being brought together by the conjunction and, okay. And is a conjunction in this case, combining two nouns, Caleb and Kathy. So when you have two nouns combined by the conjunction and, you end up forming a simple plural. I want you to observe this so well. Here we are having a plural. Now the two here are becoming one and forming a plural. What is that plural? The plural here, we have got a plural subject. Okay? We have got a plural subject, and this plural subject is Caleb and Kathy. Okay? Remember, we are looking at subject-verb agreement. Therefore, the verb here has got to agree in number with the subject. Since the subject is in plural, then the verb has also got to be in plural. Now this is where people are going to ask themselves, do we have plurals and singulars in verbs? Definitely we do. Okay, hoping that you have noted this up to this level, I want to show you the difference between a singular and a plural noun. Okay, I'm going to use the word have. Okay, I will have okay, let me has and have. Has is in singular. Okay, it's a singular verb. The verb is in singular, and its plural form is have. Okay. Assuming I used another verb, I will use the verb go. Okay. And then goes. Look at those two verbs, go and goes. When you look at these two verbs here, in this case, go is plural and goes is singular. Why I began by challenging you that English is not guesswork, some of you just have it embedded in your head that when I use one person, I use goes. When there are many, then I should use go. But without you knowing that go is the plural form of that verb, and then goes is the singular form. In most cases, verbs that are plural, okay, plural verbs are always in the infinite form. I don't know whether I'm bringing new terminologies here. Okay? Plural verbs are usually those ones which are in the infinite form. What is that we call the infinite form? This is the original. Okay? The original form. This is the original form. The original form of the verb. Okay? This is what we call the infinite form of the verb. For instance, look at the verb go here. It has not changed to any form. Okay? So we say to go. We shall say to eat. It has not changed into any other tense form. Of course, you will say go, going, goes, went, and so on. Okay? Eat, eating, ate, or eaten. We shall have dance, dancing, danced. Okay? But once the verb is in its original form, then that verb is what we call, it's in the infinite, it is in the infinite. And the infinite is usually the plural form of the verb. Therefore, you have got to make sure that the plural form of the verb agrees with the plural subject, and the singular form has got to go with the singular form of the subject. Now let us look at this sentence. I have told you that when I join Caleb and with Kathy using the conjunction and, I'm forming a plural subject. These two are taken as the subject of this sentence. Then what is the verb in our sentence? The verb in our sentence is going to be, okay, are going. But I'm more interested in the word are. Okay? Are is a plural form of yet a verb that I've got to challenge people with. Our board, sorry, is small. It's not black, it's small. And I will keep rubbing. There is a verb I want to challenge students with, but those ones who have interacted with me know it very well. This is the verb to be. Most students don't know that this word is a verb. And it's actually the verb that changes most times or in most forms in the English language than any other verb. But most students don't know that be is a verb. I might write here sentences and I tell students to identify the different forms or to identify the verbs in those sentences, and they will fail. Okay? We have got am, is, are, was, were, being, been, I don't know, you can let me see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Yes, these are the different forms of the verb to be. So anytime you see any of these, you see am, you see is, you see are, you see was, you see were, you see being, you see been, you know that you are looking at the verb to be. So if I asked you if you saw any of these in a sentence, you know that you are now looking at the verb to be. Let us try to look at them. Am, is, these ones are in singular. Okay, these ones are singular. Are is plural. Was is singular. Okay, for the verb to be. Were is plural. Okay, so these ones are either singular, are either plural or singular. So you have to be keen about this verb. Now that I have combined Caleb and Kathy, I have formed a plural subject. Okay, so it has got to agree with, the verb has got to agree with the subject, and since the subject is in plural, then the singular has, then the verb has also got to be in plural. That's why I'm having are in this sentence, which is plural. So it would be wrong if somebody said Caleb and Kathy is going to school. This would be wrong. Reason being, you have combined the two and you have formed one plural. Okay, you have formed a plural subject, therefore it has got to agree in number, the verb has got to agree in number with the subject, which is plural. Okay, but this one is a simple one. Okay, that one is a simple one. I'm going to give you these sentences. I wish it was an interactive class. I would have posed this as a challenge for you to begin with. Okay, so we are going to have situations that are a little tricky. Okay, and these are the rules that I want us to look at. The other one is, maybe can I put it as rules for you to follow? Rules 1. Okay, we have got a plural subject. Okay, formed by the conjunction and. Okay, that is rule number 1. Therefore, your subject should be, your verb should be also in plural. Number 2 for the rules. When 2 or more nouns are joined with the conjunction and, this is what I have put here, we have got that one. Okay, but let us look at this example if I can write the rule here. Okay, the old lady. Okay, together with her family. Okay, together with her family. If it was an interactive class, I would have put a dash for you to fill. okay, is going to Mombasa. I think this is what you have on your screen. Is going to Mombasa for vacation. Now, if you are to pay attention to this sentence here, I know somebody is going to challenge me. They are going to say the old lady is one subject, okay, and then they will say her family is another subject. And then they will say that we have got two subjects in that sentence, just like we have two subjects in Kalebo and Kathy. And then you are going to challenge me on why am I using is instead of are. Because under normal circumstances, this is one, okay, subject, and this is another subject. So we have two subjects, therefore that means it should be plural. And where we have a plural subject, we should have a plural verb. Okay? Why are you using is, which is singular? The answer is this. If you look at this sentence critically, okay, this we have got only one subject, and the subject is the old lady. Okay, so when we use the word together with, okay, we are not creating another subject here. This one is not the same as and in order to form a plural. But her family here is simply an appendage. I don't know. Okay, is simply an appendage, and an appendage is just which simple word can I use? An appendage, it's like an attachment. Okay, it's just like an attachment. It's something like an addition. Okay, it's not the main one. And where we have an appendage is not main. Therefore, her family in this sentence is not main. The main thing we have in the main subject we have is the old lady. So that means that we only have one subject in this sentence. The phrase together with simply introduces an appendage, but it does not, okay, add it to make it a plural verb, like a plural subject, like would have the word and. So that's why we are using the singular form of the verb to be, to agree with the singular subject which we have as the old lady. So that is the sentence we have there. Okay. I gave more sentences. For instance, I gave sentences like Onyango with his dog is going hunting. Okay, Onyango with his dog is going hunting. I gave another sentence, the old witch together with her pet. Let me maybe write this one. Onyango, okay, comma, with his dog. Onyango with his dog. Onyango with his dog, okay, is going hunting. I want you to compare this sentence because it's short. Onyango, to show you what I've been explaining, Onyango and his dog, okay, are going hunting. Look at the difference in those two sentences. Okay, in the first sentence, we have introduced the next phrase or clause of the sentence with the word with. Okay, with the word with. Whereas in the second sentence, we have used and. So here Onyango, when we use and, Onyango and his dog are going to become a plural subject. And therefore, our verb has got to be plural. But here with his dog, the dog simply becomes an appendage. It simply becomes an addition. It's not the main. Therefore, the main is one, and therefore it's one subject, that is Onyango, and therefore it has got to agree with the verb in the singular. Sorry, the verb in singular has got to agree with Onyango, the singular subject of our sentence. What other example did I give? You could be looking at your screen. I said that the old witch, together with her pet, was burnt in the house. So was is the verb here in singular form, and it has got to agree with, okay, the subject in it has got to agree with the subject still in singular. And lastly, I'm using the very example here. I said Caleb with Mary and her friend. So the main person here is Caleb, the main subject is Caleb. Mary and her friend are simply additions. Therefore, we shall still have the same singular verb, that is the verb is in the singular form of the verb be, that is to complement our subject. So that is in the first example. So it brings me to the rule. If you are writing rule number two, rule number two, which says rule number two, which says if a phrase, if a clause, okay, is introduced by the phrases with, you can underline with, comma, together with, comma, you underline those, they do not form a plural. They do not form a plural subject. Therefore, they take on a singular verb in order for the two to agree. So that is rule number two. The moment you see the dependent clause or the other clause is introduced by with or together with, then you know that there is no plural that has been formed there. Okay? It is singular, therefore we should have a singular verb. Okay? Rule number three, which we can look at here. Rule number three, which we can look at here, is that where we have got singular prepositional phrases introducing. I will rub off this, hopefully you have taken it. Okay, I will maybe use these examples first. The headmaster. These are all examples. Let me use abbreviations. The head teacher, comma, as well as his entire staff, as well as his entire staff, comma, was eager to attend, to meet the minister, I know you have these things on your screen, okay, but I want to demonstrate here so that you can see. Next one, Uganda, comma, along with other African countries, comma, is attending the OAU summit in maybe Nairobi. Another sentence we could have, the bus driver comma, along with his conductor, and turnboy, comma, was charged in court, for causing the accident. And then the third example here, the last example I would wish to give is Juma together with all his brothers, comma, will receive a bursary from the district funds. From the district funds. Okay, look at all these sentences here. I'm going to underline these phrases here, as well as along with, still we have along with in the second sentence, in the third, sorry, and then we have together with in the last sentence. That's the fourth sentence. So if you look at these sentences, under normal circumstances, you will be seeing more nouns. Okay, you will be seeing more nouns, and you will be seeing more would be subjects. Here, for instance, we shall have the head teacher. Okay, this would be one noun. In the second sentence, his entire staff would, for instance, give us the second. Somebody can argue that this is another noun in that sentence. So when you come to sentence number 2, we shall have Uganda being one noun, okay, Then other African countries would be the second one. When we come to the third sentence, we shall have the driver. I've repeated the word driver. Okay. We shall have the driver being one subject, and definitely we know the subject is, we have one noun, and that noun is the subject. Actually, let's take this one, the bus driver. Then we have got conductor, literally this would be the second one, and then we have got the turn boy, this would be 3. Then when we come to the last sentence, Juma would be one noun, okay, and then all his brothers, okay, all his brothers would be 2. So that is the argument somebody would have. In the first sentence, we have got 2 nouns. In the second sentence, 2 nouns. In the third sentence, we have got 3. In the last sentence, we have got 2. So here we have got more than one noun, and we forming plurals. The answer will be no. We are not forming plurals. Reason, we are having what we call prepositional phrases. Okay? These ones are what we call prepositional phrases. So the second clause of a sentence, at times I get a little disturbed when I'm saying these things, and I ask myself, do my students know these things? Because here I'm talking about clauses, okay? So what is a clause in a sentence? This is something I expected or which I think your teachers taught you, especially in senior 1, because these are the first topics that we teach. By this time you should be knowing the difference between a sentence, a phrase, and a clause, because those are the most commonly used words when we are trying to explain English. So what do I mean by a clause? The clause, we have got the head teacher, this is one clause, and then after that comma up to the end, we are having another clause. Okay? Then Uganda is also a clause on its own. Okay? Then the rest of the sentence is another clause, the second clause. The bus driver is one clause. Then the rest of the sentence here, actually, where in this case we have got commas. We have got Juma, comma, we have got the bus driver, we have got Uganda, we have got the head teacher. So all the other phrases, the second clauses, the second clauses of the sentence have been introduced by prepositional phrases. What are these prepositional phrases? As well as, along with, okay, along with, and together with. These are prepositional phrases. Okay? Therefore, we are going to say that singular subjects, okay, singular subjects. Let me wrap this off. I think everybody has gotten it now. Okay, that's rule number 3. Okay. Rule number 3 says singular subjects ordinarily take a singular verb. Ordinarily take a singular verb. Singular verb when the subjects are followed. When the subjects are followed. Immediately by prepositional phrases. Are followed immediately by prepositional, phrases. Okay, introduced by words. Okay, which are these words? With, along, with, comma, what else? Together with, and then as well as. Okay, as well as. So these are what we are calling the words that introduce the prepositional phrases. So we have seen in the examples. In the first example, we had the head teacher, singular. Okay, that was a singular subject. In the second sentence, we had Uganda, the singular subject. In the third sentence, we had the bus driver, singular subject. And in the last sentence, we had Juma, a singular subject. So immediately after them, we saw prepositional phrases which were introduced with, along with, together with, and with, as well as. So that is a rule that we need to look at very, very closely. I have a set of other sentences here, and I would want us to look at them. Now this rule is done. I will have, okay, we shall have neither Janet, okay, nor Jane is listening. Okay, then we shall have either the student either the student or the teacher is wrong. I'll have another sentence. Neither the children okay, nor the father goes to church. Goes to church. Now let us look at these three sentences. We are having compound subjects, but these compound subjects are joined by these words here. We either have or, nor, either, nor, or either, or. Okay, so we have got two subjects in this sentence. We have got Janet and we have got Jane. Two subjects in this sentence. Then we have got in the second sentence either the student, either the teacher. Okay, and then in the third sentence we have got children and we have got we have got father. I want you to closely look at these sentences. You look at Janet, okay? This is one noun, but it is singular, okay? And Jane is another one noun, but it is singular. Look at the second sentence. We have got student, another noun, but singular. And we have got the teacher, another noun, but equally singular. When we come to the third sentence, we have got, now I'm bringing in a little bit of a trick. We have got neither the children, which is plural, and we have father, which is singular. I don't know whether I should do append those small ones. S stands for singular, okay? Singular, singular, singular. Then here we have got plural, and then singular. So these are the subjects, the nouns we have forming our subjects. But they are being joined by these words here. We have got nor, or, and, okay? Nor again. But you look at the verbs in our sentences. What are the verbs? I know the verbs are very open, but they are being attached by, they are being preceded by the verb to be. We have got is, which is also singular, a singular verb. We have got is still here, which is also a singular verb. And we have got goes. Okay? What is goes? Is goes plural, singular? Goes is singular. Okay, for those ones who still remember, goes is also singular. Because it has changed form, it would be a plural verb if it had remained go. Okay? But since it has changed form, it becomes a singular verb. Now the question is, this one here, we are not going, these ones are also not, we are not forming plural subjects. Janet joined with Jane is not forming a plural. Reason, the word nor does not make it a plural. The word or in the second sentence does not make it a plural. Neither does nor in the third sentence make it a plural subject. But in the third sentence, we have got one plural subject and one singular subject. The question is, why am I using goes, which is singular, not go, which is plural, yet somewhere I have got a plural subject or a plural noun? Now this is the answer. When we use these conjunctions here to join the sentences nor, or either, or nor, or no, neither nor, okay? Here we don't form a plural, but the verb has got to agree in number with the subject that is immediate to that conjunction. Okay? For instance, we have got in this sentence a plural. The first subject is plural, but the second subject is singular. Therefore, it is the singular, okay, subject that we are going to take so that it matches with the singular verb. I can change the same sentence here to maybe to throw more light on the explanation I've been giving. I can say, I don't know whether this part of the body is being seen. I can say neither, okay, neither the father, okay, nor the children, okay. Now, since children is plural, then the verb has also to be in plural, because the verb now is immediately following the plural subject or the plural noun. Therefore, in this case, we shall have neither the father nor the children go to church or school, whatever you would wish to put. Okay, so that is the little bit of a trick that we have here. Okay, so more sentences I can give in line with this. Hopefully you have copied this. This one I'm done away with it. I'm going to give more sentences before I can give you the rule that is usually followed. Okay. What are these other sentences? We have said either the student or the teacher is wrong. Therefore, we can change these ones and we say either the teacher or the students. Okay, either the teacher or the students are wrong. Okay, either the teacher or the students are wrong. Okay, then the first one we have written it. Now we have turned this. The other one we began with father. Neither the father nor the children go to church. Okay. Then we have also got not only the laymen, not only the laymen, should I say? Okay, the laymen. Okay, but the experts also make mistakes. Okay, so this same sentence can be written and we say this is layman, not only the layman. This sentence can be written and we say not only the experts, okay, but also the layman, okay, makes mistakes. So these ones can be added on to the other. They can be added on to the other examples that I have given to show you the contrast. Let me maybe explain the last sentence here. I've already explained it, but I'm simply emphasizing. Okay, so we have got the layman here. This is singular. This is a singular subject, and the experts is plural subject. But because we have got the plural subject coming last, then we shall also have a plural verb, and in this case the plural verb is make. So when we turn the same sentence and we have experts, which is plural, coming first, and then layman, which is singular, coming next, then that means that our verb has got to be in singular in order for it to match or to agree in number with the singular subject here. So make is plural, and then makes is singular. So this is what we have here in this subject-verb agreement. So that brings us to rule number 4. After those examples, it brings us to rule number 4. I think I'm rubbing all this off. And rule number 4 is going to be a plural verb. Compound subjects. You have it, but for clarity purposes, we need to write it. Compound subjects joined by O, either. We have got by or, either or. Then we have got neither nor, ordinarily take verbs, agreeing in number, with the nearer subjects, the nearer subject. This is what I've been explaining. Okay, it agrees in number with the nearer subject. Do I give one more example to explain that? I can say either the boy or the villagers, okay, are to blame. Okay, either the boy or the villagers are to blame. Or I will say either the villagers or the boy, what would it be? Is to blame. So the nearer subject in each of these, the nearer subject is boy here, which is singular, therefore our verb has got to be singular. The nearer subject here is villagers, which is plural, and therefore our verb has got to be also plural. Are the form of the verb to be, but in plural, So basically, that is that with rule number 4. We are going to look at rule number 5, okay, which is I think will be the last bit of the lesson, okay, and we shall have some of those examples. But this time around, let me begin with the rule by writing the rule down, and then we can look at the explanations a little. We can look at the explanations a little later. Okay, the other one was 4. Rule number 5 is a plural verb usually follows the construction one of those, okay, one of those who, okay, because the antecedent of who, okay, is plural. Okay, is plural. Now, you might have a sentence, and in that sentence you have got this construction. Let us underline this phrase. Okay, we have got that phrase. So the moment you see that phrase in any sentence, you know that the verb has got to be in plural form. What we are calling an antecedent is that what you attach to the word who, in this case, if you remember your grammar, who is a relative clause. Okay, it's actually this one is a relative. Okay, let's call it clause, though in some cases we shall call it a relative pronoun. Okay, so the moment you see this word who in a construction where we have got one of those who, you know that the verb has got to be in plural. Reason, the antecedent to what the attachment to what follows the word who is usually plural. That's what we have written here. I'll give one example. For not one of the examples you have there, I will say which name should I use? Which name? Okay, should I say let me use the word, let me create my own name. Okay, Trank, okay, is one of those boys who, okay, think that money is the source of happiness. Okay, so the construction I'm talking about is this one here. Okay, but here I have only added in the word boys. Okay, maybe I should have put some dashes in between there. Okay, but since we have got who and we've said the antecedent of who is plural, then we are going to have a plural verb, and in this case the plural verb we have here is think. Okay, that's the plural verb we have. So it would match as Trank is singular. Okay, much as Trank is singular, we are not going to use a singular verb, because what is governing us now is not this subject here. It is not Trank, it's not this noun, but we are being governed. The role here is because we have got that construction which includes the word who, and the antecedent of who has got to be plural. Therefore, it would be wrong for one to say that Trank is one of those boys who thinks, okay, that money is the source of happiness. Okay, because to someone you would feel it sounds even proper when you use the word thinks, but you will be wrong. Okay, so you can't say Trank is one of those boys who thinks that and you get it right, because that's not what the rule is. That's not what the rule is saying. Okay, for instance, I have got other examples here. After this, I put there and say Kyalo is one of those boys. Okay, Kyalo is one of those boys. Kyalo is one of those boys who go to school. Only to play football. Okay, so what is the verb that we have in this sentence? The verb we have is go, and it is in plural because it has not changed. It has not changed tense or form. Then the last example here I gave was Jane is one of those women. Okay. Jane is one of those women who believe that beauty is everything. Okay? Jane is one of those women who believe that beauty is everything. So here we have got Jane singular, subject, and we have got the construction one of those preceded by who. Okay? Then we have got believe, which is a plural, verb. Therefore, it would be wrong for you here to use, okay, who believes. That is wrong English. Though that's what most people say, okay? But it's wrong when it comes to the rules of grammar. Then, in this one, we shall not say Charlie is one of those boys who goes to school. No. The antecedent of who is plural, therefore we are using a plural verb for that case. Okay? So, another example I can give. Another example I can give is, if those ones you have it on the screen here, I had Hilton is one of the most beautiful hotels. Okay, is one of the most beautiful hotels that have been built in Nairobi. Another one I gave, this is certainly one of the most interesting things which have ever occurred in my life. So when you add up all those 5 rules, you will find that they give you a good way of how you can write sentences agreeing in a number, the subject agreeing, the verb agreeing in number with the subject in that particular sentence. I don't know what you do with your question banks, but usually I do challenge my students in my class after teaching a topic, especially of grammar. I tell you to go back to your enable question banks and you look at the questions in rewrites or even in the other part of grammar where we have objectives, and you try to find out those questions that have got something similar to what I have taught you, and you try to attempt them so that you don't leave your question banks so virgin as you got them. So my way of doing things is I don't teach and I leave without work. Much as you are home, I want to give you some questions so that you can attempt at the end of the lesson. So these ones I did not put them there. I'm simply going to write them for you here so that you can attempt them during your free time to practice what you have had. I have around 6, 7 to depend, so that you can have them. I don't know whether in the chats you guys try to contribute. All the lessons are basically teacher centered. It's ours to teach and answer our questions ourselves. Yeah, but do we have any question? I don't see any. I don't see anybody asking anything. Do we have any? I'm not seeing any as of now, but this is the exercise which I had for you. Number one, I have Charity and Charity and Chris. Okay, we have a dash. We have a dash and then playing chess. The verb we have is the verb to be, and then the same number. Charity, together with Chris dash playing chess. Number three, the chairman, as well as the residents. As well as the residents. Dash that the soldiers looted their property. What we have in bracket is the verb to believe. Then we have number 4. We have either the bishop or the catechists. Dash blame for the mess in the church. Number 5. Neither the Ascaris, nor the head teacher, dash, here we have the verb to be, neither the head teacher, neither Ascaris nor the head teacher, dash, that the inspector would visit the school. So in the brackets we have the verb to know. So these are the 5 numbers. I want to go beyond that. I would have given more, but I think this can serve the purpose. Yeah, 5 numbers, they can take you through. Fourth sentence, either the bishop or the catechist. Hey, okay, good. We have got a 2 there for the mess in the church. So those 5 numbers can be practiced for you to see how you have best understood this lesson. It's a simple one, not a long one. Just 5 simple rules for you to observe, and you write sentences that are plausible grammatically. Okay, not what most people say, or the mistakes which people say in English and they are proud, and in most cases you will not find people real noticing that that person has made a mistake. Especially, I think the second last rule that we have looked, actually the last rule that we have looked at, which has got one of those who, this is where most people make a mistake and they don't realize it. I don't want to go beyond this point. I would like to say thank you for those ones who have been attending, and only caution you against English. Let's not take English for granted. Let's give it time. The more time we give it, the more we better our grades. But when we take it for granted, yeah, we shall always perform it just in a mediocre way, if I'm to put it that way. We pass it, but we're not without the best grades. English is not gambling. English is not guesswork. English has got rules that govern it. Just like you talk about laws in your physics, I don't know, Archimedes' principle, whether they are still there, and so on. English also has got its own rules. I want to end it here, and I wish you the best. Stay home, stay safe. Let's pray that Allah brings you back so that we can interact one-on-one, inshallah. I want to wish you a good afternoon.
You know